Day four. Day four. Last time our mic was so quiet when we began. I didn't know. Nobody told me. Nobody tells Tyrion anything. Ah. Well, hello. It's 11 p.m. and I am streaming every day. So, we're not going to. YouTube's going to say we didn't do it because they're just going to finish on the next day. But we started on this before it was time. So, okay. What up, Ellie Jose? Oh, Ellie Joseph. Ellie Jose vlogs. What up, August Darby Romantic Gal? What's going on? Let's see. Let's do the check this. Boom. That's a whole lot of me. Oh, wait, no. Wrong one. Okay. So we just recorded a little thing. This is actually, we don't need this. Let's close this. Save changes. Let's see. It's time to study up. Boom. Let's see. Let's see what we got. Oh, fun fact. I drew all this tablet. What am I doing? Tablet. Here we go. I drew all this right-handed, so I'm left-handed. I guess that's not obvious, but this is a right-handed drawing because my wrist was hurting. My hands were hurting, man. I'm doing good, Joseph. Ellie Joseph. Thank you so much. Yeah. Who knows? I do believe it's worth training your other hand if you're committed to this, because God forbid something happens. You get in like a kitchen nightmare scenario, and you're like, nah, I'm good. I got another hand. So this is what we did yesterday. Boom. We did these yesterday. This, I'm surprised by how much we could do in 2 hours. We did this and this. Tons of reps, just downloading that information. Ironically, the first one was the best one, and then we fell off the map, but um, it begins. Let's continue. So I think what we're going to do is now we're going to do. I think you need to pick an earlier time that's not 9 a.m. Yeah, I don't know why I picked 9 a.m. to do these streams. I don't like waking up at 9. So, do you have any tips for getting better at the face? I do it a lot, but I don't see improvements. I don't know why. I think there's so many different variations of the face that it's hard to tell what area of the face you're struggling with. What I'm going to do today is probably try to draw some more from not imagination. I'm going to try to study them and then break them down a bit better than I usually do. And sorry, my computer's just not wanting to cooperate. I guess I have to close. Did I save changes? No, I don't. I gotta restart. I guess I'd have to see what you're struggling with. Speaking of which, guys, I would love to start a new series called Art Clinic, where you guys can bring in your work for review, but I think it would be more interesting to do what I do on my mentorships, which is you prepare a bunch of work and we plan a call. So in an upcoming live stream, I'll probably do that. We'll have one brave volunteer who is willing to get on like a Discord call and join a live stream. And yeah, we'll just do, if you don't have an ego with your art and you're willing to, I'm not gonna be mean about it, but if you're willing to share your art with people, and we can do like a impromptu art mentorship thing. The difference between a mentorship and like a review is that a mentorship is they don't need to be talented at all. Anybody and everybody. In fact, it's nicer to get a broader selection because I'd probably pick some artists who are really good, some artists who are more beginner. A mentorship is primarily, it's not about what they will teach you, but about identifying what you should do to develop your own art. So it's like I'm not gonna necessarily critique one piece. Excuse me. No, I'm going to look at your work, give you help on what you're struggling with, but then try to help you develop, let's say, your next 2 months towards a certain goal. So it's more of a conversation. That's why I need to see more than one piece of art, but that's how I generally find it's more effective that way. Because I can give you a critique on how you draw a nose, but if it's not connected to your overall study and your intention day to day, you're just going to forget that, or it's not going to matter. So okay, and let's see. All right, so kind of a little bit lost as to how we're going to practice today, but I think we're going to do two things, which is we're going to do an in-depth study of, let's say I think we're going to do the nose today, and then we're also going to do some faces, and then we're going to do and then vice versa. So we're going to do faces built from a skeleton and then skeletons derived from faces. So we go both directions. So, of course, beneath the face is a skeleton, and above the skeleton is a face, right? You want to be able to know how to go from face to skeleton and skeleton to face if you want to have a robust understanding of the face. So let's just begin, I guess. We'll just do some 30 seconds just warming up because I feel like I have not drawn today. I've been I've recorded a video and I recorded some stuff for the school community. Um, and we're just gonna 30 seconds, so we don't have much time to think. We're just gonna loosen up, try to get our shapes, seeing eye in the right place. Overcomplicating right now. Really, if you want to simplify, give yourself less to do wrong. So I want to work slower and just if you guys want to follow along, please do. If you drew something, share it on Instagram, tag me, and I'll say hello. I'll share it back. These are also helping me understand some of the harder angles of the face. See, I'm not comfortable with that. Hoping at the end of the week I will have a much stronger understanding of faces. That would be nice. But I think that means in reality I have to be drawing more faces than I'm drawing. I mean, 2 hours a day is good, but on days I've seen the most improvement, it's like you're doing 5 hours a day, at least in reality, just to be honest about days like where I've seen the most improvement. I'd always like to say, like, you know what, if you have the right study structure, you can do anything. But the reality is, it's like, yeah, but what about the person who has the right study structure and more time? Well, then, yeah, they'll learn faster. That's why I made a video on talent. Um, and a lot of people, or the disagreement was centered around, well, some people just don't have talent. Some people might not have an affinity for something, but that doesn't mean you can't learn it. I don't have an affinity for any STEM fields, but I could learn. if I wanted to. I will probably never be, nominated for, I don't know what they win, but you can still to some extent develop a skill. I think it's also just a sad view of it to be like, oh, if I don't have talent, I shouldn't do it. Also, what if you discover that your talent was deeper than like it comes out in a later stage? Like I was rejected from art school many times, and I could have said, well, I don't have talent early on, but what if it just took time to show the talent that might be now the YouTube side of things? These are some great angles to do these continuous line drawings of because they force you to see these shape relationships. I'm trying to have an intentional line here. Never got the lips, man. I think I just want to do this for a while. I want to get these relationships more comfortable because there's two types of practice. I heard this in an Instagram short and I really resonated with it. I forgot the names he used for them, but there's practice that expands your ceiling or raises your ceiling, and there's practice that raises your floor. This is sort of raising the floor. It's helping to cement all the things we studied yesterday and practice it at an intuitive level. But deep studies are raising your floor. They take real cognitive work to really understand the planes of the face. But something like this is like, I don't have to think, I just have to move my hand and slowly adapt over hundreds of iterations. Whereas, let's say, deep practice is uh, pushing the extent of your knowledge, whereas this is pushing building your intuition. I'm constantly too slow, so I gotta ramp up this because I want to get all the facial features in. So you could say deep study pushes the heights of your knowledge, the depth of your knowledge, whereas these shallower, repetitive, quick, intuitive study expands the floor and gives you reinforces what you practice in your deep level. So it sets the floor. What is your intuitive level versus deep study? How much do you actually understand about a concept? How many words could you use to describe it? How much could you break it down in detail if you had to? That's the two sort of spectrums I think you can find from study. Hodari, what up? Evan, good to see ya. Art by Kashik, what up, dude? Fi, good to see you. Oh, we got some regulars. Jam, we got a friend from uni. Jem's a legend, man. What's good, man? Jem is like day zero, not even day one. This guy was I met him on my first day of school. Oh, I read The Growth Mindset, Carol Dweck. Yeah, my brother was reading. No, he was reading a different one. What do you think of doing contour drawing? I think contour drawing is great. This is actually something I learned, Jim. I learned this from Gabriel. He did this with me, and he was so much better at it. Probably still is. But blind contour drawing forces you to really uh, get in touch with what it feels like to move, not just relying on vision, but understanding your hand sort of recognizes distance even with your eyes closed. I can write in the dark. Let's see. I'm gonna try something. I'm gonna try writing without looking. Let's see, this is the tough part. Hey, that's pretty good. That's kind of good. I was expecting it to go. That was pretty good. So I think if I did it with my right hand, it would be far worse. This forces you to see simple shapes too. Down. Did my stream go down? It said OBS disconnected for a sec. Yo, this is tough. I see how this also teaches you caricature too, though. I'm way too slow. I'm not moving quick. He is not pushing. Why isn't he pushing? I'm thinking too much. No more thinking. Just draw. Just draw, man. Just draw. All you can do. It'll come with reps, man. Literally, the only difference between us and the masters is reps. Even if it is talent, just say it's reps. Because let's say you believe it's not talent, so you spend your whole life drawing instead of being on your phone. Is that so bad? Is that so bad? Who cares if it is talent? Do it for yourself, bruh. This expression again, okay. This guy's happy. See how simple and confident I can make my line. Whoa, I did not know he had it that luscious. This is helping me sort of get comfortable with the overlaps of the face at a like at a level beneath structure, like just getting the shapes that suggest that form. Because if I had to think through it, I wouldn't be getting this sort of depth. Like here with the eye overlapping the nose. Six seconds. Move it, dude. Keep it pushing. Please. Finish one for the love of God, my guy. Finish one. Boom. 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 'Am getting tighter and tighter. I gotta loosen up again. Trying to make these good. They just need to be done. I think, given that we've done these studies, when we get to these like 2 minutes, it'll feel like a lifesaver. 30 seconds. You got no time, but if we can do this in 30 seconds, surely 2 minutes will feel like an eternity. The real hard thing that I couldn't even do in art school was getting being able to focus for those 3 hours and just not get tired of sitting there. Maybe I gotta try to build that back up because I definitely don't have the best discipline. I wish I could lock in, but it's tough. Whoa, great set profile. Another great set profile. Bam. Eye out there. Okay, I think that's enough of them. I'm gonna take a quick. Oh my god, it's been like 10 minutes. Holy, we gotta. My fly was unzipped. Let's see. How do you take a matter or topic to study it? I'm a newbie and want to improve by knowing how to do art studies. Um, it's almost like instead of are you rushing or are you dragging? Um, I almost wonder if it's better when learning to draw to recognize that drawing is kind of like learning to write. Writing in any English class, they'll like tell you how writing is more about knowing, like having something to say than learning necessarily big words. If you have something to say, the writing comes naturally. Like if you're going to be someone who wants to speak clearly, start by having something you want to say, because that will determine what words you use. Same thing with art. If you want to study effectively, start by wanting to understand something. And if you treat your drawings as notes on understanding a subject matter, your drawings will be a lot more effective. So almost don't focus on drawing something, focus on understanding something and draw your understanding. Treat art as the proof of your understanding rather than um, treating art as the thing you want to learn. So, for example, do you understand this car? How is this car built? And you'd be like, well, this car is a rectangular prism with a trapezoidal roof with some trapezoidal protrusions about 1/3 down the horizontal length of the car. Those are all terms, geometric terms you could describe. If you can describe geometric terms, you can translate those onto an image, onto a piece of paper. You can draw those geometric forms and translate those geometric terms. And once you do that, you'll find you can draw cars pretty well because aside from the most basic knowledge of like, can you draw a rectangle based on your, like if I said draw a 3x2 rectangle and you can't draw a 3x2 rectangle, that's going to be harder. But a lot of drawing comes from a misunderstanding of the thing you're looking at, not from an inability to draw. Um, Evidence of that is that you can trace. If you can trace, you can move your hand to create an image. It's just that you are thinking wrong and your drawing isn't bad. Your thinking is bad. Your drawing is just fine. For example, I can speak English just fine, but if I am speaking about something I know nothing about, my sentences are going to make no sense. You know, it's not the language you're using, whether it's visual language or verbal language, it's the understanding behind what you say. So I would practice with that in mind. Why am I not giving you practical things like what to study? I don't know what you're drawing. I don't know what you want to do with your art. And I don't know what you know and don't know. And I'm assuming that you've probably already heard the basic stuff because otherwise, you know, I don't think you'd be here. Okay, let's do 2 minutes now. Now, some things I want to do is try to, actually, before I go back to the rapid fire things, let me try to get a better understanding of the skull by drawing in 2 layers. So I'm going to do a skull study with this character's head. Try to see if I can't. Let me raise the opacity for you guys. And what I might do to challenge myself is 0 opacity brush so that it's just like a fine liner, forcing me to make clear decisions under. I keep disconnecting apparently from OBS. I don't know why. I always start with other people's models, Art Acolyte. It's just a good place to begin. Why do your own work when masters have helped you simplify it already? Get a glimpse of the jaw beneath. This is almost what I'd imagine the skull to look like underneath. And then built over it. Well, let's get the neck doing something like this. I think I tried to push this out a bit too far. Or I didn't give the nose a strong enough side profile. Because it's quite side profile. Probably like this more so. Like that. And then over it, I might switch it. I might do blue skull and probably should do that. I'll probably take this, paste it back, low level. And let's see if we can't build out the face in the remaining minute we have. Okay, kind of fits. So we're going to do blue line underneath, or just under layer, and then over layer. I hope I don't forget. I just forgot. Okay. This is more of a back view. So, well, the skull should be slightly wider. This is the side of the head where the ear will be. The head slightly tilted up. The cheekbone rises out. The orbital socket, you can kind of get a glimpse of. And you can see, whoa, okay, I'm seeing more connections than I used to. You can see that the orbital bone just goes in and the nose bridge connects somewhere like this. Half the time has gone. Let's do what we did yesterday and include all the information, meaning include this, because it's only correct if we start building a deeper base of knowledge, or just start challenging ourselves with some more to draw. There we go. It's starting to look like some good form. Okay, I tilted the head up a bit too high. I'm seeing that, so I need to adjust. So something like this, thinner insertions, less tilt, deeper sockets, deeper, yeah, less tilt all across the board. It's more of like head shape there, this. Oh, 1 minute, okay. So with sub 1 minute, we're gonna have to be quick with it. So it's like this, very triangular, eye socket. The eye socket really just rests along. Even the mustache goes along this curve plane. I'm definitely noticing the curves of the face a bit more, having now had to see the planes many times like this. Even the hair too, it's curving along this surface. There we go. Coming around. We'll practice hair in one of these weeks too, or one of these days. And I think we'll have to figure out what the rest does on our own. So if this neck is the sternocleidomastoid, so it'll do that. And this will probably just do that. And since this is a bone, probably just do that, and there we go. Not bad. It's a fun exercise. Okay. So this person is looking directly at us. So let's do the skull. We can get a great view of their orbital socket. You can see this, if you see this marker, right, that's their orbital bone. Wraps around. You actually see like this right here, that's their eye socket. That's the shape of their eye socket. So it's probably doing something like this. Something like this. And a wider jaw. So jaw connects like this. And may also just be a strong jaw muscle here. But either way, we just want to capture the overall proportions. That's the halfway mark. The chin is quite wide, as we see. The teeth are quite small, actually, so the teeth are going to be like that. Overlap lines. Okay, so we got that. And let's add the neck, which will be actually more straight up. And here we go. Yo, that's kind of a goated skull. I can't lie. Okay, now let's see it. See, the orbital bones decide where your wrinkles are. I think I drew the skull too wide. No, not wide enough. Too long. Easy to be a very uncanny image. I'll widen the skull out here. And make it look a bit more happy. Make her look a bit more happy. My bad, green. Oops. Oh, you're gone now. That's hard. We low-key cooked her. Can't lie. This one's gonna be tough. Streaming before bed is kind of crazy. No, I sleep at like... I'm sleeping at 4, guys. That's a sure ski right there. I've accepted it. I just don't go to sleep when I would like to, and it's okay. My mom's not gonna yell at me about it. Not anymore. Not anymore, Mom. I'm drawing. You guys can see the jaw. That's like the bottom of the jaw. I mean, that's low-key the best we'll get with the... Oh, you can see the clear ridge here for this person here. That's cool. Not a very long draw. And actually sort of lean back a little bit like that. Quite a big nose. And then something like this. Yes. Yosh. There we go. There we go. And then we had the features. Have one, two. Where we see the plane right there. We don't have to indicate it, but we are. The eye socket. This. I think I like this second line under the eye. I like these thin connected lines. It adds a tiny bit of form. See, just when you add an eye, this little thing to indicate the actual eyelid. You can even highlight it because that's where like mascara would go. It wouldn't go on the eye. And now we get to really emphasize the nose. My posture, bro, I feel it. I made her side profile a bit too weak. It'd be more like that. Get her eyes a bit too low as well. It'd be more like that. And for the hair, we're gonna give it like that. I always make the hair on the back of the head too big when I don't see reference. That's good to know. And with this hair indicated over this side plane, I feel like we could kind of make some guesses as to how we would shade this with like this, right? On the line where the side of the head is, that's where the planes would change. So that's where you'd probably see some rendering. And then we can take out light along the same lines as the hair. See if that doesn't do something. No, that doesn't matter. Ah, Joseph, what's up? Yeah, I hope you get a good night. You're up late. Holy. I thought I was up late. I just mentioned you in an upcoming video. Nice new video, man. You're actually like, you're just cooking every single video. So underrated. I don't know how you don't have more subs, bruh. Dude's gonna miss this message. Yo, hey, Zeph draws rest well. Yeah, legend. I actually love Zeph, bruh. Zeph is so good. Let me catch up on chat. Her face seems more round. Is that because her skull would be more round, or her face, or that would be face fat? I mean, it's probably face fat if you're talking about the um this girl. It depends. I guess this girl did have quite a strong angular structure, which doesn't suggest as much fat. But I mean, that's why skulls are not the end all be all. If you learn skulls, you'll make people very like strong, angular, but bro is training his X-ray vision. I guess so, eh? It's been a long time since you displayed something on YouTube. How you doing? Busy? I've been posting just as regular as I always posted. I'm actually posting like way more now. My brother is the editor now, so he's actually cooking up a short right now. Maybe you guys will see it. Yeah, shoot, we're trying to hustle. We're trying to lock in a little bit. Trying to draw more, trying to teach more. Trying to sell out the workshop we're doing. Coming up to we're about 2 months out of the workshop. I'm super excited for it. First launch was crazy. People, we had a lot of fun, but I'm excited for the second one. It's kind of like a drawing from imagination class, but it's more so giving you the tools to draw anything, because drawing from imagination is kind of like saying, I want to learn to do free soloing. I want to rock climb without any ropes. And it's like the way to rock climb without any ropes is to learn how to rock climb really well with ropes. If you want to learn to draw from your imagination, the way to do that is to learn to draw well, period. And then learn how to rely on a system of thinking that is based on generative construction and not deductive shape based analysis. Those are a bunch of big words. That makes it sound smart. I know. It all comes back to scaffolding, literally. I just take in the workshop, I just take the exercises and connect them to projects so that you can actually integrate. And the value of it is that I just give you feedback and I help you with stuff that you can't search up online as easily. Or most of the time, the issue with learning isn't that nobody's missing what should I do. They all know what you should do. They don't know where they're going wrong, right? This might be personal, but is broken draw spiritual? Does greatness come from within? Loki? Loki might. I would say I'm kind of spiritual. Although I feel like spiritual is just like a way to say, like, do you believe in energy? And it's like, I believe in karma, but I believe in karma like logically it makes sense that if something, let's say if you're an asshole all the time, you don't have to be spiritual to see that, like, even scientifically, the thing that causes negativity is probably going to be the recipient of negativity, right? If you go around kicking babies, in 20 years, those babies will look for you, bruh. I think. I can only speak on personal experience. And yeah, no, Matthew's still mad at me. I'm kidding. I kicked no babies. Matthew was unkicked. I love that Zephyros dropped by. That's pretty dope. He's a busy guy. I mean, I love that all of you guys are dropping by. I'm very grateful that y'all sitting here listening to me yap. Thank you. But Zeph taught me for a bit, so I like seeing him uh, when the opportunity arises. You just drawing whatever now, huh? Listen to the night. Don't go punching babies. Yeah, it increases. It's nice to have you here go live while drawing my own thing. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. I think it's just fun to be drawing with somebody. I used to put on the Peter Han live streams. Just watch him cook. Yeah, it's nice hearing someone talk. I'll try to speak with a calming tenor at this time of night. Delta waves to lull you into a deep sense of peace and calm. No more high pitched, no more rants about AI tyranny. Just calm, grounded, stable Tyrann. Let's see if it helps me lock in. That's why Jake Don't Draw is such a good teacher. He's got a calm, very authoritative, authoritative voice. Doesn't help to have a high pitch, man. Okay, so they're gonna really hide the skull. Nah, I'm rising against the system. Perfect side profile. I will take it. We get to really look at his skull here. Look at that. Boom. His skull's down here. Muscles connect this. Do not be fooled. These are muscles. But from there, it kind of looks like we have this and this. A little bit of this, a little bit of that. And now we could do some sort of integrated studies of the face. Now that we are understanding what is muscle, what is bone, let's try to jump between those. Right here would be the cheekbone, right? And you get to see the little pocket it creates of the eye, the socket pocket. Here, and it creates. Now I made his head. Actually, I started his face way too low. Let's see if we can't recover this without changing too much first. Do something non-destructive. Boom. Boom. This wraps around. This eye socket right there. Eye. Ball. There we go. And now the socket is just right here. Go. Hair connects right around here, following the hairline. I think I have to do some facial feature studies tomorrow. And I think I'm going to do them first thing in the morning. Because I think it's going to be a lot of thinking. First thing in the morning translates roughly to like 2 in the afternoon, but that's the plan. Actually, yeah, I have to do it before. I'm doing more improv, guys. I'm doing more improv. I'm trying to be a bit guy. Trying to be a bit of a guy and a guy with bits, so and we're doing that by doing some improv. You guys might not know it, but I was a theater kid before I was a art guy. So we can use, now that we understand the contours of the face a little bit better and the direction of the skull, and we understand the form, we can use these lines to indicate volume a lot better. Right, these lines come out. These lines overlap. These lines go sideways. I could spend a whole other week on face stuff. I think I will. I'll study the head. Like this week is the head, but I think next week we're gonna continue it. I just decided because we still have to figure out how to study the features well, and we have no clue. And we're coming up to Thursday tomorrow, and then what about, like, there's still so much to learn. We barely scratched the surface. Stuttering unauthoritative gets the point across. Can we get it translated to emulate Kim Jong-gi streams? That would be funny. I don't like these flat angles. That's tough. I haven't even done expressions yet. I'm gonna save expressions for. No, I can't do features tomorrow because I'm doing features next week. I'm going to do. What am I doing? I'm in my head now. Let's see if we can do this. I'm going to do. Yeah, some sort of expressions more tomorrow. And maybe next week we will do facial features and and caricatures maybe? I'm not sure. It'll be a shorter stream today, guys, because I think once I fill out this page, I'm probably calling it a day. Maybe we'll do one drawing from imagination for another student who won. In my workshop, there's a. The whole point of the workshop is to get you drawing more than you ever have at your level. Like, I guess that's what you means, more than you ever have. And so there's a lot of stuff outside of the classes incentivized to do that. There's a community aspect to the class. You're put on a Discord server with other students. There's a monthly, there's an ongoing challenge where you draw extra on top of the class, and the top contributors who draw the most, post the most, get a signed sketchbook from me. So it's just a indirect way to encourage people, even if they're not doing the homework, or if if they're done the homework, just keep drawing. Obviously, I don't think people should only draw for extrinsic rewards, but if the extrinsic reward ties to an intrinsic reward, which is you get better at drawing, so be it. I will incentivize that all day. So I'm trying to design a course that I would have wanted when I'm trying to design the course that I would have chosen when I was trying to get into art school, and just trying to learn basic drawing skills. Takes a lot from Peter Hahn's dynamic sketching, takes a lot from Tom Fox's methods, from Zeph Draws. If you guys study from them or you like what I make, it'll just be an integrated experience that yeah, I'm excited. You guys will see in an upcoming video students results. See for yourself if it works, but I'm pretty confident in it. I wasn't, well, I was, but before I taught it for the first time, I was like, am I tripping? Or like, maybe I am just talented. But then you do the class, you'll see that it's not talent. You just got to do work. If you spent 9 weeks learning math, you'd be better at math. It's just a skill, bruh. So, super excited for that. Now, it's not cheap, but it is intense and effective. So, you'll be getting what you pay for. I am feeling like I know where to put structure now. I know that this line represents the side of the cheekbone, so I do feel like my drawing is showing more structured as well, so I'm happy about that. I mean, the eye, I do need to practice eyes more closely, I think. I think I'm going to spend a day on each of the features and just drawing them on a person. like studying that single feature on the person. Maybe I'll finish this off on my last day with a self-portrait of myself. That might be cool. Just to see what I learned. I think that would be cool. That would be fun. All right, oh my gosh, I said we might fill out this page, but it's not looking. I forget. There's a 15,000 canvas, bruh. I was not aware of the first 30 days on school. I think it'd be more cool if Broken Jaw learned Korean instead. Let's drop some. 나 조금만 한국 알아. 근데 더 배워야 돼. 혹시 매일 나 책 좀 읽어 또 비디오 조금 보면 다른 못 진짜 못 알아. 나 조금만 한국 알아. 왜냐면 나 엄마 한국 사람 혹시 조금만 써도 돼요. 근데 that's all I know. That's just me saying I can speak a little. I can speak a little, but um, I'm trying to learn Korean. Well, I'm half Korean, so I uh, I should know some. I'm trying to learn more. I spent a couple months there last year. I like watching some Korean stuff. I can understand a lot more than I can speak, but anybody who actually speaks Korean is gonna be like, bruh, bro is not cooking. But I used to practice with a classmate in in school. It's kind of fun. I'm super shy. Like, well, less now. I just dropped Korean bars, but I I'm trying across the board. I'm trying not to be just ashamed of myself for some reason. I find I'm naturally, for some reason, very like. I feel like I have to qualify myself all the time, and like I don't just get to say like, oh yeah, I'm like this. So that's partly, guys, the reason I recorded a video with like literally Hyunjin Kim the at the Kim Jong-il Museum a year ago, more than a year ago. That video has not come out because I am like, this is such a stupid reason. I am self-conscious of how bad my Korean sounds there, and I was speaking it to him and my mom was translating, and I'm so self-conscious by how I sound that it just never came out. And I feel terrible because I didn't explain that to him. I just he walked me around for like 3 hours. So I actually feel like I've scammed him. So the video will be out before Lightbox next year because there's no way I can look at him in the eyes again after not releasing that video. So come October 15th, the video should be out. And the way it's going to go out is my brother is taking helm of that and he's making it like a documentary. And, ooh, speaking of which, I got to ask, we're going to try to get like a really cool documentary sort of thing. I want to try to interview some of the, some of the big names in the drawing from imagination space and try to get some thoughts on Kim Jong-il because he was more than just a great draftsman. He, I think, represented artistry. I talk about being ashamed of stuff. Bro was not afraid to draw the most lewd things you could think of, and he just was like, yeah, yeah, yeah. So what? Because he's like the quintessential artist. He's not making art. He's being himself on the canvas. You get a glimpse of who this person is, just because he draws so much. It's like a journal to him, and I think that's the true artists are not the ones who try to create art. They're the ones who can't do anything but. And it's so clear that that's how he was. So I think there's a lot to learn, not just from his craft, but from him. When you watch any of his interviews, he is so humble and down to earth, and like he doesn't think of himself as a master. And I think that's maybe why he's so good. At least a facet of it is you would expect that a person who labels himself a master has lost the desire to learn, because if he still had it, he would consider himself a student. And so the fact that Kim Jong-gi always said he was vocal about the fact that he's still learning and he doesn't feel like he knows everything. I mean, sometimes he'd be like, "Yeah, y'all suck," but my eyes are weak. I think I'm not sure what to think of underneath, so I'm not working with form first. I'm not working with a form first foundation, man. You gotta. Can't believe I just spoke Korean. My mom would be proud. I'm trying to, bro. I'm trying to be able to talk to Hyunjin Kim and Dong Ho Kim for real. Last year when I did do the interviews, I asked them in Korean if I could interview them. Is I read it on my notes. 인터뷰 조금 해도 됩니까? Saying, can we do a little interview, my guy? It's the eyes, man. I always make them look like they're soulless and empty. It's crazy how just some drawings you're just actual doo doo. But it's okay, you know? I think drawing is a tough medium because maybe the case is most people are bad on any given day. Like, if you watch sports long enough, you realize nobody actually is that good for that long. It's just like the main thing in sports is look how good they were at some point though. But it's like why'd they get bad? And you're just like, I don't know, people just get bad. People are just bad some days, you know? Even the best players in the world wake up and go, yeah, I cannot. I had a terrible game today. And the thing about their games is that like at least it goes away. You're not watching that more than probably once, or you got to do demo reviews and stuff, but you're not watching that and you don't have access to that memory again. Drawing, bruh, if you make a bad drawing, it's with you forever. Like you can look at that unless you throw it away, but it's right there. You can just sit with it, which is also, I mean, a good way to learn from it, but damn, talk about stakes, you know? I mean, this got better while I was saying that, so I'm kind of grateful of that. I kind of like working with this 20% brush. Kim Jong-gi might high-key have been, bruh. I like that perspective. Artists externalize their subjective experience, and that is most admirable. Why are you not drawing on paper? I usually do, but these study sessions are being recorded, and so I think I'm gonna make some videos on drawing heads and stuff, and it's easier to have clearer quality when I get to zoom in and stuff. So. Jay says, "That's not stupid, man. It's valid to feel that way. That's how I feel about my second language." Yeah, man. What's your second language? Yeah, it's tough when you're born mixed. You're usually falling on one side of that rather than evenly split, so it can be a bit. It's tough because you're not one or the other. When I'm in Korea, you're you're the white guy, and then when you're in Asia or when you're in the West, you're the Asian guy, and then it's like, where are you just where are you just the guy, man? I gotta go to like Africa. There I will just be. I guess I just would not. Just be a foreigner. Unless you go to South Africa, then they'll just call you white again. I'm zooming. I'm tunnel visioning too much, low key. I'm just having fun doing all sorts of different interpretations. They always look like lizard people, man. I gotta plot the eyes first. Have them look at you. Whoa, that dude's kind of mugging. Kind of mugging. That is a crazy lip. Let's give him some more clear lips. Oh, whoa. Kind of scary. This kind of looks like a "Have you seen this man" poster. God, I hope not. Jeez. Bro's got no ear. Let's keep it that way. That's frightening. I love this stream. It's my second time here. Cameron, love. Thank you. I love you. I love that. He feels like he would be on the main art of an indie horror game. Yeah. He looks just nice enough that I imagine it to be a horror game of like, he looks like someone you'd go on a first date with. Like, that's what I think. I don't know. Looks like a nice guy. 1 year, but Michael Van Gogh had a year. What can you do? He looks like just normal enough to be like, yo, man, you're chill. And then he follows you home and then just stands outside your window and all night doesn't move. And you're like, okay, well, misread that. I think the curvature of the face, really, I need to appreciate a bit more. Everything happens on these curved surfaces. The ear is curved, right? The skull is curved. The lips curve. Everything is shifting in perspective. The eyebrow, the socket here. The cheekbone. Cheekbone wraps around and is here. Muscles contorting. counting here. Uh-oh, we're off. Let's do this. Let's build off of this model a bit more. That's some crazy lips, bruh. I love this stream. She's gonna be furious after seeing that shit in your bud. I don't want to be kicked out. Yeah, no, I'm sorry. Yeah, mods. Ban him. Yeah, ban him, but don't stop there. Find that man. Find this man. Send him. Send him over. Find Shanir Bud's address. Don't dox him. Just have this man stand outside his window. Yeah, oh, is right. Alright, guys, a few more. A few more. And we'll call it a day. Some more depth studies. Oh yeah, this is how hair actually looks coming out of the head. You just have it going the directions it's going. Who knew? I'm always worried about closing it off, but it's like, no, you can just do this. Create a vague edge. And it's even creating a look of like, wow, even looks shiny. I think I just stumbled onto a trick. And this can really look better if I bring this up. Yeah, you can do micro adjustments by holding Control, and you can shift these. You can make them look tiny. Like a Meetzilla drawing. Oh no. Harry's in trouble. Okay. I don't know what this is. Okay, well that tells us we're caught in the deep end. Let's go finish up the stream with another why am I recording? With another overhead, boom. We're gonna do another drawing from imagination. We have another student who won a sketchbook. So we are going to draw something. Your brother just posted a short. Let's watch it together. Let's see, everybody. You all ready? Oh, I'm watching Art One. I want to watch that later. So we're gonna watch a YouTube video together. Okay. Okay, let's see it. Whoa, look at that. Bro is cooking. Bro is cooking. He is cooking. Let's do monitor. Oh, here we go. Boom. Ba-boom. Here we go. Let's just do this. Okay, hold on. Let's turn up the mic here. How were you able to, at the beginning, overcome the fear of starting something new and draw even if you're frustrated and burned out? I don't know if you should force yourself to draw even if you're frustrated and burned out. If you're burned out, that's your body telling you it doesn't like how you're forcing it to do what you're forcing it to do. Take a break. Don't sacrifice the short-term studies for the long-term enjoyment of art, because if you do, you can guarantee you're going to think of art as a negative. You just want to have fun. Reduce the pressure. Recognize that if you are going to do this, then it's worth doing for the rest of your life. And if you're going to do it for the rest of your life, let yourself have a bad day. Let yourself take a break. Consistency is great, but don't think of consistency as a daily thing. Think of it as a yearly thing or monthly thing, as long as the trend of your year is more consistent than the trend of your last year. Rather than think about streaks, you think about... Hold on, he might be cooking right here. It's pretty good. I said that? Well, that's pretty good advice. Okay, Yosh. My Loki got it. Percentage is so a 15-day streak goes from amazing to a failure if you miss day 16. But if you miss one day out of 15 days of drawing, you still drew like 93%. I was kind of cooking, I can't lie. Of the days. That's awesome. I have a question. That was awesome. I don't know about you guys, but I think this guy has a point. I think that was pretty cool. He's good at math too. Look at that. Bro should have been an engineer. I low key you know that's how he that's just the good editor buff. He cut out all the bad parts. Let's do boom. Holy, that was kind of dope. I like that one. I like that one a lot. Maybe I won't burn out. It's pretty great. I might switch to that guy's stream. Fact checking it. 93%. Hey, I set that on the fly. That's like an A minus. Broken calculate. That's it. I like that you don't just stick to drawing faces and add little trinkets here and there. I should look do that too. Yeah, I feel like, I mean, I don't know how to lock in and just do one study, but it's also because uh, I guess I don't know why I don't do that. I don't know why I don't just lock in on one study. The honest answer is I probably just get bored. Um, and I guess I'll be drawing anyway. Like I do study, I don't know. I don't take it too seriously. Let's draw in this book. Let's see what pen we use. I didn't love using a brush pen last time. So I think we're going to use... Ooh, okay, we don't usually use this pen. Last time I drew on this page, so we'll do that page again. Let's do overhead. Boom. Hello. Hello. Oops. Boom. I low-key can't wait until I get to just chill. I will still draw, but it's like, who knew drawing every day was kind of tiring. Okay. What are we gonna draw here? I don't know, but first we're gonna move this to the light. Did I draw on this page last time? Or this page? I think I drew on this page. I didn't want to draw in their sketchbook officially. I think it's only right that we draw faces. So I'm going to take a drawing from this is something Athoro drew in my sketchbook that I'm going to try to adopt. gonna vibe out to some music, but I'm not gonna let you hear it because I got demonetized last time. Hell yeah. Whoa! What the heck? That's a crazy. That's a crazy album cover. That is. Shoot. That is not appropriate. Definitely not. I'm not starting. Well, I am starting a new sketchbook, but this will not be mine. There we go. I locked in for a second. Do you listen to Rap Turn? Of course. Of course. I really like. I like. I'm really into Dominic Fike right now, and it's like more like pop rap or indie rap, but I definitely like wordplay. Always been a big fan. Fun fact, I low-key can freestyle. Low-key. Little bit. I never show it, but I am trying to eventually. I don't know. Is your name Broken Draw or Broke and Draw? It was originally the first one. Now I can be broke and draw, but it's broken draw. Like, yo, I want them to say broken draw. Good evening, T. Do you own? Hey, John. Do you own Space Drawing Perspective? They released the second one a few days ago. I'm looking for anyone who might know what's inside. I know what's inside, but I don't own it. I looked at it in a bookstore, really liked it, read a few pages, and it changed the way I understood stuff. I think it's fantastic for anybody who struggles to understand horizon lines, because it is what finally helped me understand that the horizon line and the eye level are not the same thing. Um, but it has a lot of workbook pages inside. So a lot of the material are empty pages and they want you to draw inside it, but I'm not doing that to my book. It costs like $70. What study will you do tomorrow? I don't know. I'll figure that out. But we have another drawing done. So, guys, that is the stream. Thank you for joining. It's 1 a.m. And yeah, we're gonna stream again tomorrow. Probably late, probably like afternoon. I got something to do tomorrow. I forgot. I signed up for something. Anyway, I guess I'm locking in tomorrow. So thank you everybody for joining, and all the best. Happy drawing. I hope you guys drew a lot, and I will see you tomorrow. Thank you and bye. Good night, everyone. Thank you for some of you guys for staying the whole time. I appreciate you. Have a good night.